Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to, you might not recognise it, but this was the game show map that we were planning on doing, which I now have a name for from all the tweets that have been sent in. The person who sent in the name will be in the description below, so definitely go check them out if you want to see who sent in the name. But it's a fairly simple name, but I quite like it, and it's called It's Showtime. So from now on, that's what the game show is going to be called. So yeah, so that pretty much sorted. What I'm going to be doing today is I'll just explain a few things. This is just going to be an update on what we've done with the map, who else is going to be on it, the YouTubers will now be revealed. So if you don't want to see who's going to host it or who's going to be one of the YouTubers or whatever, then I wouldn't watch this video, but stuff is going to be explained. So what I'll do is I'll try my best to leave the YouTubers to last. That probably won't go too well though. But first thing I want to talk about is the place is completely pimped out. I apologise if you recognise any of the YouTubers' faces. These are the Minecraft faces, so apologise if you're not wanting to know who's going to be in it. But I'm just going to be briefly describing in this video on what's been changed, what's been added, what's been removed, what's been moved in general, anything like that, right? So, first thing I'm going to talk about is just the stuff that's been moved and added. What we've done is, as you can see, since the place is completely pimped out, we've got the YouTubers' faces up on the wall, including the host of the actual game show, and then obviously the host of Colin's Corner, which it's not really much of a spoiler considering you could probably guess that Colin was going to be doing Colin's Corner. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to be that. Also, if I sound a bit different, guys, I've got a really sore throat, so I apologise, ladies and gentlemen, if I sound a bit different. But basically what we've done is the rules were on the back of the red board, the challenge board I should say. Now what's basically done is we'll move them over here, and we changed rule 5 because while moving them I sort of forgot to write that down when we were like changing them, and I could have looked back on a video, but I actually thought this would be a more appropriate one. So if we really need to, we'll add a 16 or a rule 16 or something. But yeah, something I want to go over is these are all the credits that helped my friends, who I would like to thank very much just because of the help they've given me. I appreciate it. You can see who helped with what. So obviously you've got their name, and then in brackets you then have what they helped with. For instance, ideas, they helped me come up with the ideas for the map. Builder, they helped actually participate in the build. And redstone, which is only James, he done all the redstone on his own, so thank you again for that. Now where to start? I'm going to start on the new boards actually. Now we have a new board, and we have also moved the player board. As you can tell, the player board's now been moved to here, and it used to be down there. Now you can see stairs down there. I'll show you what's back there in a minute, but first I'm going to go to the new board. Now basically, you might have heard me in the last video of this. Now, if you haven't seen the first video, definitely go check it out. Otherwise, you're probably not going to understand any of this. But anyway, in the first video, you might have heard me say that James can at any time shout either the words aim or challenge. That's completely changed now. What's going to happen is he's going to shout "It's Showtime," which is obviously the name of the game, or the game show I should say. Basically what will happen is once he shouts that, every YouTuber will have maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, depending on where they are, to get to the arena, which is here. And basically what's going to happen is they will make their way to the game show, and basically the player board, which will be selected by me, I will be making the since this board will only be selected by James, I will be mixing up the names etc on this board. Every other board, the challenge, twist, aims, and the board of boards, which is a new board, I'll explain that in a minute, they will all be controlled by James, so there will be absolutely no way of James cheating, no way of us cheating at all, right? So I just want to make that clear in case you think there might be a flaw, etc. in it. Which, if you do think there's anything up or anything a bit odd about these, then let me know, and I'll definitely take it into account. But basically, the board of boards will be selected by James only. He will not know what is placed where. But then what will happen is, I'll just show you the options here. Of course, we've got the actual YouTubers themselves, but we also have winner's choice, who's the person who will be in first place, losers, who's obviously in sixth, and choice by vote. Now, choice by vote is when each individual player gets to take a vote on who they think should be picked for whatever the challenge is. So once that has been selected, James will then ask us a question which you guys, dudes and dudettes, any other YouTuber, if you recognise your YouTuber, whatever your YouTubers would call them. I'm not going to say any because, to be honest, I don't actually know what all these YouTubers here call their fans. So, and I do know a few, but I don't want to say them and then leave some out because it might feel like I'm favouriting here. So, for me, you guys are my dudes and dudettes. So, for that and for any other YouTuber you may recognise on this board here, basically what's going to happen is James will ask a question which you guys can send in. We will answer. We will not know what the question is, and basically what will happen is whoever answers first will then get to it, as long as they answer correctly. Obviously it's not just whoever answers first, but and I will actually show you how it will be determined on who has not answered first, but been chosen first to answer the question, because obviously there's six people, so it's going to be hard to decide on who gets to pick first, which I'll tell you in a minute. But basically, the board of boards has each individual board on this, as well as choice by vote, which is the exact same as it was above. The host choice, where James gets to pick either challenge board, twist board, or aim board, and the name repick, which I'll explain in a minute. Basically what happens is whatever player has then been selected after they've answered the question correctly will then walk up to this board, which James will control. So again, they will not know what will be on the board. They will select and determine, and depending on what is actually on the board, it will then decide on what board it will be selected. Now obviously not all the boards are completed. The ones that have the little white and grey wool on it, they ones are finished. That's pretty much all we need to do actually. It's just this and then arrange times, and that's us sorted. So hopefully this will be getting out to you guys soon. But anyway, what name repick is basically whatever James has picked from up here will then be left open. So say all of these were covered up apart from say V Origins. He would then have to come back up here and select any other of the 8 slots besides the one he's already picked, which means V Origins would be safe, he wouldn't be doing the challenge, etc. So then what would happen is whatever's been selected, that certain player would then have to pick this certain board. So say this board was selected, but and say it was V Origins again. Say he picked a solo game, he would then have to, obviously he won't know what's on it because again the host will be randomising these and no one else will know. So say he picked a solo game, he would then be playing a game that you guys have sent in on by himself. However, so basically what happens is whoever answers the question first gets to determine the fate of whoever's been selected up here. So basically it's first come first serve pretty much. But say it was maybe, I don't know, versus, so 1v1, what would then happen is whoever was picked first, so I'll use V Origins as an example again, what would then happen is James would then go back up to the board and select another slot that hasn't been picked. So then what would happen is, say it was myself, it would then be me versus V Origins, and we would then do the challenge, and whoever wins would then go on to either receive a reward or it may be a consequence if they lose, etc., which I've explained in the last game. This here is just going to be for James. Basically what he's going to be doing is making sure none of us cheat. He'll be handing out rewards for whoever can complete challenges, etc., and basically just helping us all, not helping us all along, but just making sure no one's cheating, and that if anyone does fail at certain challenges, there will be certain consequences depending on what board. So that's what these two boards are. If you've still got a bit of confusion, then I'll try my best to go over it in a brief description again. We've just got like flags here, it's just a little decoration. We've got Z-Star Games, we've got V-Origins, Broomycraft, myself, Reaper Gameplay, and iLolzz. Here we have James, who is IBRBZZSNL. His old account is IOMGZZSNL. And this is his character. He's going to be playing the role of the host. This is myself, obviously. Here we have that. See, that's me. Here we've got Broomycraft. This is Colin of Colin's Corner. We've got V-Origins, Z-Star Games. We could have done the Scotsman, but like the actual Scotsman skin, but we thought we'd maybe spice it up a bit, considering I am from Scotland myself. If we were at least going to do a stereotypical Scotsman, 4J Studios could at least do a stereotypical Scotsman right. So that's what we decided to do, and we thought this would be quite a good skin instead. So I'm not meaning to offend anyone by saying, oh, this is whatever. This is a stereotypical Scotsman. It is supposed to be stereotypical, but obviously it's not. That's why it's, well, stereotypical. So please do not take offence to this, because it's not meant in that way. Thank you. This is iLolzz, Reaper Gameplay, and yeah, that's all of them. So I'll give a brief description of Colin's Corner, just what's been done. Basically, I will be the role of the cameraman, which I'm actually going to be going over jobs, etc., like interviews of people who may be interested, etc., who have maybe helped with the map. Some of you subscribers out there, all my dudes and dudettes, pretty much everyone, the other YouTubers who are going to be involved in the show, maybe some that aren't involved, just to get their opinions on what they would like to see in the show. So you guys can also send me in tweets as well. My Twitter will be in the description below. You can send in tweets of questions you might want me to ask them. So what we're going to do is I'll be the cameraman, and Colin will obviously be on his chair, and there will be either one or two YouTubers there which you can then ask certain questions. I'll take you backstage. He'll kill me for this. As you can see, this was where the star would sit until he's called up on stage, and this is sort of the backstage entrance. So we've got Colin's Corner studio entrance, free bacon inside. As you can tell, it's Colin himself that's designed that. And basically what will happen is this door will be closed, and you, any subscriber who's interested on coming on, can actually watch all of this in action. So you guys certainly won't be missing out, and as you can see, there's the glass wall, so you guys will be able to see. And even at the end of the show, you'll be able to come on and dance with Colin and all of that. I think that'll be pretty fun. So if you guys are interested in that, then definitely send in your tweets, etc., of who you want to see on the show, which then brings me on to my next point, which this is probably what, like the 30th point. Colin's Corner's guest list. Now, this is just going to be, can have up to 5 YouTubers. Once the person has starred on the show, they will no longer be on it unless they are reappearing on the show. But this is just a brief list. I'll go over it in a better description on the job interviews, because I will actually, well, not job interviews, but just interviews, because Colin is a guaranteed interviewee on that. So if you guys have questions, you can send them into Colin as well as these YouTubers. But basically, we're gonna have we've got just a little table here. Basically, by YouTuber, it's just the date, not the date. Wow, the name of the YouTuber. Sorry, the date will be what date they are actually going to be starring on this show, and what day it will be uploaded. topic is a hot topic that you guys can send in, which will be the sort of scene, the sort of typical question that will be, I'm just trying to think of a word for it. Yeah, it will sort of, everything will be themed around that topic on that certain day type. So what type of YouTuber? Do they do walkthroughs? Do they do Minecraft adventure maps, survivals, update videos? Do they do completely other different games? Do they do PC games? Anything like that. And then episode, which, depending on how well the Collins Corner goes, depends on what sort of episodes you might get to see. Obviously the first few are just going to be standard episodes where it's just, they'll be uploaded to YouTube. But if you guys like it as much as we hope you will, then you might start to see stuff such as live streams or special, say a Christmas special video or something. So if you guys are interested, definitely, obviously you can't tweet in the dates because well, that's really up to the YouTubers. But if you want to see any YouTubers, you've got any topic ideas or any episode ideas either, then definitely send them in. I will just show you the podiums, which are actually customised by the actual YouTubers themselves. They asked for the colours. That is the colours they will be getting. I'll just let you know, you might see the bracket underneath the names, and basically you've got the YouTube name on the top line, and then in brackets you have their Xbox Live Gamertag. So if you're looking for, I was going to say PS3, don't get it on PS3. If you're looking for PC, I'm afraid you will not find them under that. All these boards are still the same. Nothing's changed. These flags are also customised by the colours that those YouTubers were after. And let's get on to this. It's nothing much, but basically this is where the player board used to be. It is now just a cool looking entrance, which will then take you, or well, we're using it as an exit at the moment. It'll then take you out into the continent area, sort of, or the map even, which is had no change to it yet because it's good the way it is at the moment, and obviously no one is taking over territory because we haven't started yet, and that's why obviously we haven't done anything with it yet. But the last thing I'm going to talk about is the stuff we still have to finish, and basically all we need to finish is writing up the boards, which James will have to do, and obviously getting the update videos etc, posting them on weekly etc for you, just so you guys can see how the map's getting on. If you guys have any ideas, we'll take it into consideration, maybe think about adding it etc. And the only other reason this series hasn't started yet is because, I mean, there's going to be 8 of us, so trying to get all of us YouTubers together, considering we're all in different time zones as well. Some are from the UK, some are from the US, Canada, etc. Therefore, it is going to be fairly difficult to arrange specific times that we can all get on at. But I guarantee you this series will get done if my life depends on it, so definitely stay tuned for it. But yeah, that's pretty much part 2 of this. First video was just basically our first thoughts on it. This is now the update of what's staying and what's not, and we're going to be releasing a third part, which is going to be the oh god yeah, third is going to be the interviews, which obviously you guys can then send in tweets or private messages to my YouTube. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. If so, don't forget to leave a like and comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe and become a dude today, and I'll see you guys next time. I will see yous in part 3 of the interviews. Peace out, dudes.